It's 1985, and the air in Culiacan smells like parched earth and expensive cologne. You aren't a person anymore, you are a link in a chain that stretches from the coca paste jungles of Colombia to the neon-soaked streets of Miami. You're young, your mustache is just coming in, and you've traded your father's rusted plow for a nickel-plated 38 Super. You work for Joaquín, known as El Rápido for his efficiency. He is a short, determined man from Guadalajara who sees the border as a simple gateway rather than a barrier. You have become his essential tool in moving product across that line. The golden age of the Guadalajara Cartel is fracturing. Miguel Ángel Felix Gallardo is the CEO in a suit, but the streets belong to the men in the dirt. You start low. You're a gatillero, a trigger puller guarding a warehouse that smells of diesel and high-grade blow. The violence of the 80s is different, it's more intimate. It's a physical weight. When a snitch is caught, you don't just hear about it, you're the one holding the car battery cables. You learn early that a man's scream is the same in every language, and it's a sound that will eventually replace the silence in your dreams. You think the gold chains and the silk shirts make you a soldier. They don't. You're learning the first rule of the 80s. Loyalty is a luxury you can't afford, but a mask you must never take off. The 90s arrive, not with a bang, but with the sound of digging. You've been moved up. You aren't just guarding warehouses, you're overseeing the engineering. You're standing in a hole 2 miles south of Douglas, Arizona. The air is thick, recycled, and tastes like copper. This is the boss's masterpiece, the first great tunnel. While the Americans are looking at the sky for planes and the roads for trucks, you're 6 feet under their boots, moving tons of white gold through a vein in the earth. The hardship is grueling. You live in the dark for weeks. Your skin turns a sickly grey, and your lungs are perpetually filled with the dust of the Sonoran Desert. But the pressure isn't just physical, it's the logistics of fear. You're managing cooks and laborers who are essentially ghosts, men who will never see the sun again until the job is done, or until they're buried in the very walls they dug. Every time a pallet moves through that tunnel, you feel the adrenaline of a gambler. But then the pager on your belt vibrates. It's a code. 777. A shipment was seized in Tijuana. The mood shifts instantly. In the 90s, a loss isn't a tax write-off, it's a death sentence. You have to find the leak. You spend the next 48 hours in a windowless room with 3 of your best friends, looking for a twitch in their eyes. You realize that you're more afraid of the man who pays you than the man who wants to arrest you. You watch your childhood friend get led out the back door because he couldn't explain a missing 5-kilo brick. You don't say a word. You just keep digging. May 24, 1993, Guadalajara International Airport. You're there, but you weren't supposed to be. This is the moment the world changes. The war with the Arellano Felix brothers has turned the streets into a slaughterhouse. You're crouched behind a rental car, the glass raining down on you like diamonds. The air is screaming with lead. You see the Cardinal's car, the big white Mercury, and you see it get turned into Swiss cheese. They thought it was the boss. They thought it was El Chapo. In this life, your identity is a liability. You're just a body in a tactical vest, caught in a crossfire between egos. After the airport, the riot begins. The government can't look the other way anymore. The Federation is dead. Now it's every plaza for itself. You're on the move constantly. You sleep in safe houses that are anything but safe. You carry a shortwave radio that crackles with the voices of federales who were on your payroll yesterday but are hunting you today. The double cross is now the standard operating procedure. You see commanders selling out their captains for a chance to stay out of Almoloya. You trust no one, not your wife, not your brother, and certainly not the man handing you a glass of tequila. You drink only from sealed bottles. You never take the same route twice. The paranoia is a vibrating hum in your teeth. You've seen what happens to those who try to retire. They end up as pork in a drum of acid or hanging from a bridge with a sign pinned to their chest. You realize The exit door has been welded shut from the outside. It's the mid-90s. The boss is in prison, Almoloya de Juarez. You think the organization will crumble, but it only gets more vicious. You're running a plaza in the north now. You have power. You have millions in cash buried in plastic drums beneath a ranch. But you can't buy a single night of peace. The graphic reality of your life is etched into your face. You've seen the stew maker at work. You've seen what happens when the boss decides to send a message to Tijuana. The violence has lost its meaning. It's just a chore now. You wake up, you check the news to see which of your colleagues was found in a trunk, and you go to work. You can't defect. Where would you go? The DEA wants your head on a platter to justify their budget. The rivals want your head to prove their dominance. Your own people want your head because you know too much about the 1993 hit. You are a repository of secrets in a world where secrets are lethal. You remember the 80s, the parties, the sense of being a rebel. That was a lie. You were never a rebel. You were a slave to a market that never sleeps. You're looking at a Nokia brick phone, waiting for a call that will either tell you the shipment cleared or tell you to run into the mountains and never come back. You realize that El Chapo, even behind bars, has more freedom than you. He is a myth. You are just the muscle that makes the myth possible. By the late 90s, the riot has become the status quo. You're a middle-aged man with the heart of an 80-year-old. You look in the mirror and see a stranger. Your hands shake when you light a cigarette, not from age, but from the decade of adrenaline that has burnt out your nervous system. You think about the hardships. It's not the lack of money. You have more than you can ever spend. It's the lack of a soul. You've done things, graphic, unspeakable things, to satisfy a chain of command that doesn't even know your name. You've burned villages, you've orphaned children, and you've watched the short one rise to a level of power that defies logic. And for what? You can't leave. If you try to walk away, the organization sees it as a confession. They'll kill your parents in Sinaloa. They'll find your kids in whatever private school you've hidden them in. You are bound by blood, by the dirt of the tunnels, and by the ghost of the cardinal at the airport. You realize the truth as the sun sets over the Sierra Madre. The cartel doesn't just employ you, it consumes you. It takes your past, it ruins your present, and it deletes your future.